She was triggered. Watch.
Where your main character uses the power of words to hurt people.
Triggered!
You're with a black kid? Does he know anything?
You are racist.
This is the only game where you can press triangle to be triggered, but the story revolves around a diverse cast of characters.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about two very recent DEI disasters in video games. We've been talking a lot about DEI lately, and this is a very good case study on why companies need to pivot away from it, because it's going to cost you a lot of money and a lot of credibility.
No, of course, pivoting away from it does not mean that you can't offer organic diversity. People are like, that means you don't want diversity. That's not what it means at all. It just means you're not shoving agenda down people's throats for the sake of money and high fives and
but
stupidity.
There is no money. This is the thing.
There is no money, right?
There is no money in this. This more than anything is showing why so many companies are pivoting away from it. This is why I think there are so many layoffs in AAA gaming right now, because I think a lot of the projects they're working on, we saw it with Suicide Squad, cost Warner Brothers over $200 million.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. For a while there, they were getting like bonuses and extra money for including it. So that's where the money was. But now it's gone. It's gone. And now these games have to succeed or fail on their own merit. And my God, they are failing spectacularly. On merit.
On their own merit. So we're going to talk about Concord, which is basically...
I don't know what it is.
Very woke Overwatch is what it is.
Okay.
And it failed. It's so bad that Paul Tassi, who's been calling out the bigots and the Nazis lately, he's even like, this is a freaking disaster. That's one game. The other game is Dustborn.
And I never heard of either of these until today.
Yeah, so you're going to be coming into this blind on this one. Dustborn is the cringiest video. Like, if you took 2016... And you
turned it into a game?
And you turned it into a game.
Oh, God.
And it makes sense because a lot of these games have been in development for years. Probably because they're hiring unqualified people to work on them. But they've been in development for years. And how many millions of dollars have been burnt on these games? And if Sweet Baby Inc. had it their way, every AAA title would be just like this.
But why do people keep hiring them?
Because they were extorted. Basically, they're like, hey, it'd be a real shame if our friends at different media outlets wrote a bad review about your game or started writing hit pieces about your sexism and misogyny.
Everybody's writing a bad review about their game.
Yeah.
Everyone is. So it's not a threat. It's the reality.
The reality is that DEI should be spelled D-I-E. Because
DEY. Like, why the hell are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? And I think, look, more than anything, the numbers at the end of the day, it's just like everything else is getting canceled right now. They will give you a chance because of DEI and ESG and all that jazz and wokeness and whatever. You will get a chance, but if you can't perform, you're out. And that's what's going on across the board now. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
I think we're going to talk about Concord first. And again, these games are pretty interchangeable. Like if you took 2015, 2016 Tumblr and created video games based on that's what both of these are.
Wow.
So Concord is basically Overwatch, but woker. And this is Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi calling out Concord. And he's definitely...
He was all about the acolyte.
He was all about the acolyte. He said there's flopping and then there's flopping. And the release of PlayStation's Concord, which has failed to break 700 concurrent players on Steam, with maybe just a few thousand on PlayStation, is one of the worst major failures we've seen in the last generation or more. And weirdly enough, they're doing, I can't remember what it's called, but on Amazon, they're doing a bunch of shorts, like CGI shorts of different games. And they have a lot of classic games in there, but then they threw Concord in there too, probably for promotional reasons. And it's like, why? People are like, why the hell? This game, like, nobody wanted this game. And this is one that, like, a lot of YouTubers, we didn't touch this one, but a lot of YouTubers were roasting it. They're like, this looks terrible. And apparently, the phantom audience agreed because all the diverse and inclusive people that the DEI is supposed to reach, none of them bought this game. None of them played this game.
Did they also charge $40 for it?
It's $40. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It said it's easily the biggest factor in why the game can't even break quadruple digits on Steam. That In a market where every hero shooter is free to play. Yeah, Overwatch even now is free to play. Concord tried to push its luck with an upfront cost with the promise of a bunch of free stuff and a few microtransactions.
Oh, microtransactions, not microtransgressions. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no, we're gonna talk about I'm saving the best for last. We're gonna talk about Dustborn. There actually is a trigger button. If you're triggered, you can call people racist. I'm not even kidding. This is like, again, this is a 2016 wet dream. I mean, this is crazy. So it was not a deal there are no fans wanted to make, as this is a game that badly needs to be tested before purchase. However, given the free beta of the game was tested a few weeks ago and only drew out 2,300 players.
No, that's terrible.
Okay, just to put this in perspective, we don't sell a lot of comic books, but we sell more comic books than Concord has players. And this is supposedly a major release on PlayStation, a video game.
Gosh, what could we have done with that money? Anyway.
I don't know. They gave it all to this.
They're saying it's hero shooter oversaturation. No, I don't think that's why.
No, this is like Marvel fatigue or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, there's Overwatch, Apex Legends, Valorant. No, this one had to be like, people were like, look, isn't Overwatch and Valorant, aren't they woke enough? Why do we need an even woker version of those games?
Yeah.
And again, just the characters, it totally looked like it was 2016, which brings us to this point. It took 8 years to make.
So they started in 2016.
They started in 2016.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything wrong. It can be summed up in this game.
Yeah. Extremely poor hero designs and aesthetics. Oh my God, are we allowed to say that because we had diverse body types? Which basically diverse body type means overweight black person.
Basically, that's what diversity means. And lesbian. Usually,
and lesbian. Overweight black lesbian.
Is usually what they've...
With blue or purple hair, or and often a side shave. And I'm sure that there are people rocking that look, and go you, but it's not the most common look out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so like predictable. Like every like, oh, it's not enough just to be overweight. No, you have to be a minority. And also, we're going to get to Dustborn too. I keep wanting to say Justborn like the Peeps. I think some of the characters in that game.
Well, I used to say Concord. I keep wanting to say Conkers, and Conkers is definitely not PC. Anyway, so I love this. There's one thing though. Paul Tassi clearly isn't up to it. The game attempts to channel 70s sci-fi. An era existed 30, 40 years before its target audience was born. Correct. However, 70s aesthetic was into the 90s, and the 90s is back right now. So technically, in a roundabout way, their delay might actually work to their advantage there, because 90s are based on 70s, and now the 90s is in. So it technically, in a roundabout way, is still 70s.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, it
everything
is.
comes back around now. Now we're back into the 80s and the 2000s.
Well, now it's but now it's 90s.
90s again.
Is in.
He said the main issue here is not character diversity, as some have said. Well, that definitely plays into it, because
it's
there
not
are
character
tropes.
diversity.
It's not diversity. Just they look so bad. That is actually yes and yes. I think it's almost a parody. Like if you were gonna make a parody of, make me the wokest. Hey, Chat GPT, give me a character roster for the wokest game ever from 2016. And make sure there's lots of body positivity and diversity, whatever. The roster from this game is what you get.
Well, which brings us to number 5, the anti-woke crusade. This
is the first time we talked about it, because they both failed miserable. Both of these games
I never even heard of this damn game
miserably.
Until today.
They had a controller ready for it because they thought this game was going to be a huge hit.
Oh. Why would they think that? Okay. Because the normies don't care about this shit, Paul. It's not about the anti-woke crusade. It's because no one wants to pay for this shit, and normies don't care.
Yeah. He said some are citing the game with its character design and pronouns in their bios. Of course they do.
Yeah, but that's not why I'm hearing it failed. I'm hearing it failed because it was expensive. It looks like crap.
Yeah. Apparently they just dropped the trailer for this game like 2 months before it came out. Okay. But he said Sony knew this was going to be a disaster. They knew it was going to be a disaster. Like, again, the pendulum is already swinging. It already started, I would say, late last year into this year. And this is why I think they are laying so many people off in AAA gaming, because they're looking at the people that are working there and they're like, we don't need you. Like, you're just like a PR mouthpiece and you're out there causing trouble. We really don't need you. You're not coding. or the ideas you're coming up with are dumb, or you're trying to get your friends from Sweet Baby Inc. to come over here and fuck up our game and cost us hundreds of millions of dollars. Well,
but the whole thing, like you said about like the wokeness and stuff, here's the thing. If the general public wanted that, this game would be popular, wouldn't it?
Yes.
They don't want that.
No.
So you can blame it on the anti-woke people like us, or, that we keep getting blamed. I even hate that word. But we keep getting blamed for this. But the general public doesn't care. It's like Acolyte, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah, we got a video coming about that too, because God, they are just so angry about that. Here's the thing. You had a chance, right? For 8 years, DEI and wokeness and ESG, all that stuff reigned supreme. Every project, even when it made no damn sense, went down this path. They were given hundreds of millions, countless millions of dollars to play with, to produce stuff that they thought was going to, because probably the sales pitch to their superiors at the studios, these companies was, oh, there's this huge untapped market out there of people that really, really, really want to play as an overweight lesbian. We need more games with overweight lesbians. If only.
Everybody needs to see themselves on screen.
Everybody needs to see themselves. And you know what? The overweight lesbians are like, no, I want to flick the bean to that hot chick in spandex.
Right. They keep talking about the male gaze. What about the female gaze? Come on.
Right.
Yeah, and they said they used mocap for this.
Oh my God. Yeah, so they were kind of going for Overwatch. It's basically a hyper diverse and inclusive Overwatch. It's like a parody of 2016. And I'm not going to run all the clips for this one. The gameplay doesn't stand out. It's derivative, oh my God, of Guardians of the Galaxy and Overwatch. It's drowned out. Not by, this is what's interesting. Not by other hero shooters, but this exact moment when no one is paying attention to anything except Wukong's 2.2 million concurrent players, and the fact that Valve officially announced Deadlock the same night Concord was released. They knew. They snuck this one out. This is like High Guardian Spice.
It's like one of those silent but deadly farts. You snuck it out, but it stinks up everything.
Right, and it's going to come and go, but they have to release
Just like
it.
a fart.
Yeah, you can open a window.
Comes and goes. It's
Open
there
a
and
window.
then it's gone.
And all you are is a fart in the wind. But the thing is that the failure of this game and this other game, and especially Suicide Squad, where they burnt $200 million, that's it for Sweet Baby Inc. Like, I think they're done. Like, and consultants like them. I don't know if they were. I think they were involved in this one.
I don't know if they're involved.
I haven't been following this one super closely. But
first
like,
I've heard it today.
That mindset that we have to go through and audit your games and make sure they're super diverse and inclusive. This is what you get. Meanwhile, we have a game developed in China, and I'm not defending the CCP, but we have, Wukong, which had 10 million copies sold like within the first day or some crazy number. And then we had Stellar Blade, which was Korea.
Well, you know why they wanted this game? Because they basically they knew up front, like we said, we're not going to put up with that crap. Like, if you get a review copy, we're not going to make it about anything but the game. We don't want to be talking about politics. And then people are like, thank God entertainment does not, just politics in disguise. I'll play that.
Yeah, nobody wants it. Not even the audience. This is what gets me about all of this. Same with comics and same with animation, same with, movie franchises. And like, they go down this road because these people have been lied to. The studio heads, who are boomers, have been lied to and told this is the new audience. This is, look, all these upvotes on Twitter in 2016. Yeah, if we said we were going to do a more body positive, diverse Overwatch, yeah, lots of people want it. Look, there's like spend hundreds of millions of dollars.
You have to remember too, back in this time frame, that's when if you didn't like something, you're automatically labeled a bigot, and people were going along with it because they were too afraid to be told they were bigot. Or I'm not a bigot, so I'm not a racist, so I'm going to have to agree to this, or I'm going to be a racist. And now people are just like, I'm fuck you, I don't care.
They don't care.
But back then, they probably were afraid to say no because they're afraid that I don't want people to think I'm a bad person.
That's exactly how they control it. And a lot of times it was just like scared middle-aged white guys that let these people run amok because they didn't want to get on the wrong side of these activist employees. And they were afraid of their own employees.
Would you?
You won't be on the wrong side of history. Well, now you had your chance, right? You had your chance. You got control of everything for like 8 years. And entertainment is in shambles. The entertainment industry from top to bottom is in fucking dire straits right now. Video games and comic books and animation and movies, and they're just starting to course correct, but it takes time. It takes time to, especially these games and movies that take years to develop. It's going to take a long time for like more middle of the road stuff to start coming out, but you can see all the people getting fired, all the people getting laid off. And I think part of that is the economy. Part of it is I think they're using the economy to get rid of people that they know are going to be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. I think general public's just over it.
Yeah, they're over it.
And again, I want to make it clear, just diversity and representation is not the same as wokeness.
There's a huge difference. And I think
people sometimes don't forget that.
Yeah, I think we try to make it clear in this channel, because even liberals, even Democrats are starting to use woke in a derogatory term. It's basically the left-wing version of being like hyper religious, or to the point of it being a cartoon, right? And,
it's like a religion. When it's a religion, you're looking for blasphemers, and every time you turn the computer on, and everything has to be represented at all times. You're a terrible person. That's what we're talking about with that. Not just because the game happens to have diversity, that does not equal wokeness. So I make that clear. But anyway, show you about these games, because we're already way into this video.
We're way into it. So that's game one. That's not the good. We
didn't talk about the other one.
That's not the good one.
Wait, there's a good one?
Yeah, this is even better. This is Dustborn. This is Dustborn, which is, I didn't even know this game existed until a couple of weeks ago. And again, if you wanted to bottle 2016, I hate to use the term cringe, but I've been using woke in this one. If you wanted to bottle 2016 woke cringe in one video game, it's this. We're going to watch this and react to this overview on TikTok from Just Say Steven, and then I'm going to go out and show you the Dustborn song.
They have a song? Is this like We're Going to Win in the End from She-Ra?
It's exactly that. Except we've got like one of each diverse type of person. Everybody's represented, and it's like We're going to win in the end. Yeah.
Worse than the Monster High songs they did for the new show?
It is probably one of the cringiest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even kidding. Like if you were going to do a parody of what a DEI Sweet Baby Inc. video game was, it would be this. I'm not even kidding. It's
let's show
so
it to
ridiculous.
Show it to us.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I guess.
Again, hat tip to Just Say Steven on TikTok.
Dustborn is a game that just came out, and it's already being called the biggest flop of 2024.
What?
With a whopping 49 people currently in game.
49 people playing it. This is a couple of days ago, too.
Well, it might have gotten more people if they're interested.
Players.
83 players. All-time peak.
Okay.
83. 83.
Well, as soon as everybody starts hearing about it, they might go play it just to see how bad it is, though. And then the wrong message would be sent.
I said the wrong message.
Oh my God, we hit 100.
No hate playing.
Hot damn.
No hate playing. 83 people played this.
So what exactly happened to Dustborn? I mean, it was featured in Gamescom 2023. It had a big marketing push, and it was even funded by the Norwegian government.
Oh my God.
What? They used taxpayer dollars to bankroll this game.
And so actual tax dollars went into making this disaster. Well, it's a music adventure combat act.
So it looks like Hi-Fi Rush.
It's a musical adventure combat action game.
Which you can do. Hi-Fi Rush is actually really good. This is basically like a 2016 version of Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay. I just think it's an awful lot of things put together.
The power of words to hurt people.
Wait, what?
Yes, you saw that.
That's
correctly.
how you'd fight? The power of words.
Yeah, did you see the trigger attack?
Yes, wait.
She was triggered.
Wait.
She was triggered. Watch.
Where your main character uses the power of words to hurt people.
Triggered!
You're with a black kid? Does he know anything?
You are racist.
This is the only game where you can press triangle to be triggered, but the story revolves around a diverse cast of characters that go on a road trip across the divided states of America.
Oh, the divided states of America.
You two can go over hours of unskippable dialogue, a terrible combat system, and receive non-stop lectures and the most cringe-worthy lines you'll ever hear. Like, I'm not sure who the target audience is supposed to be for this game.
Oh, yeah, we get into there.
We know who it is. We know who the target is.
It's Portland.
Well, no offense,
Not
Portland.
even all of Portland. Like a very, very small... Like, again, we saw this in webcomics. We were doing webcomics. We saw the change. And we saw this back in like 2013, 2014. This started to creep in where the audience changed and everybody was triggered and offended by everything. And every comic all of a sudden had to have...
Or the creator had to be a bunch of checkboxes.
Right.
And we ran into that ourselves.
And it happened so quick. It was like as soon as Tumblr hit, like all this nonsense Just like everything had, and if we actually had people coming into our comic, which had been around for years at that point, and they're like, how come your comic's so white? Where's this type of person, that type of, I'm like, boy, we've been online for years, and literally,
but here's the thing: if we wrote comic characters in that weren't, we'd be accused of like
pandering
or
like, getting it wrong. We had somebody we used to be friendly with burnt their comic to the ground because their comic had fictional brown people, and they got called out by Tumblrites for having fictional brown people from a fictional world because they weren't diverse enough to be able to do that.
Yes.
It was
so you can't win.
You couldn't win. But yeah, we saw this happen. But this is if you took all of that insanity and bottled it and then sold it for $30.
I guess it's not me. But with the player count being literally less than 100,
less than 100 people.
This is what happens. I've taught this at length. The majority of people are in the middle. The majority. They might lean right, they might lean left, but they're mostly, in the middle somewhere. The extremes are the minority. Yeah. Unfortunately, you always hear from the extremes. That's what you get the loudest voices from. So my money is this was made for the extreme left, except there's not that many people there, and of those, how many people play games?
Well, that's just it. A lot of these people, and we saw this in Star Wars, and we saw this in comic books especially. Boy, if you just made comics or you just made movies that with characters that look like me, then I would support your thing. But it's too white and too male and then you give it to them and they don't support it.
Right.
Right.
Oh, they would have if it's free, but you're expecting them to pay for it.
Right. Oh, you want us to pay for it, right? Okay. So this is the.
I still can't believe you fight by being triggered.
This is the song.
Wait, okay. Yes.
This is a song.
How bad is it?
Oh, it's bad. I gotta give a hat tip to Stuttering Craig, who posted. I guess he got it from Cabrutus. But
okay,
we're gonna watch and listen, and we're gonna have to pause it every once in a while. But this is a real song from a real video game that's really cringy. You ready? You're not ready for this.
I guess. Let's go.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Wrap up the Band-Aid.
Okay. Do you need alcohol? Should I go get some?
No, just get it over with. What?
Yep. They walk among us.
This sounds like a threat.
Yeah, it does. Like
Oh,
your time.
You're kind?
You're kind.
What? We're the new porn. Who wrote this shit?
It's an actual soundtrack. They actually have it out there. Oh my God, this is just horrible.
I don't understand. What's your kind? What's that supposed to mean?
The white racists on the billboard behind them.
Oh.
So we got to make sure, she's not just plus size, but I guarantee you she's probably also pansexual. And we have to make sure she has vitiligo too, because that's a thing.
Is it a she? I can't even tell.
It's a they them. So I'm sure I'm really surprised the pronouns aren't just like following them around above their heads as they're
as it should be in this game.
Yeah, right.
That was the song.
That was the song.
Different.
Yeah.
You make a living doing this?
We're a bit rusty, and it's been a long.
And they ride around. Oh, that's the bad guys. Bad guys are the justice.
Oh, listen to this line.
That are defensive in the Republic. This isn't Pacifica. People here don't like politics with their entertainment.
People here don't like politics with their entertainment.
Okay.
So yeah, they're very.
Wait, what did they say to it? Do they have a response to that? Or do they just say nothing?
What's your band name?
We're the Dustborn.
So they're a band and they go around.
We're the Dustborn. We're the new porn. You're racists, and we're gaycists. I don't know. Yeah, it's.
Can't wait for my kids to play it when they're thinking about new porn. Wow. I don't even know. Okay, no, to be fair, it wasn't as bad as I expected the way you were talking, but it's still pretty bad.
Oh my God. So yeah, this is, we have some other people on Twitter talking about Savvy Artist here. The numbers, 52 players on Steam, 24-hour peak, 75 all-time peak. 83 people.
Oh my God. People don't want to play a game like this?
So again, where is this huge fucking audience that we've been hearing about? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of it, look, I'm going to be honest. If you put out a DEI-infused video game and it sold millions of copies and made shit tons of money, there'd be all kinds of sequels. That'd be it. Everybody'd be going to Woke Town, right? They'd be like, yeah, this is where the money is. But you had a chance, multiple chances. Going back to, again, Hogwarts Legacy, right? Hogwarts Legacy, the people that are into games like Dustborn or the people that try to cancel Hogwarts Legacy, that game sold 28 million copies. And this game couldn't even break 100 users.
Well, Savvy Artist points out, and I agree with this, they're saying about they got taxpayer fund. They didn't get crowdfunding, they did tax funded. And they said that money could have gone to like a school or rent assistance program or something to benefit society.
Healthcare or something,
and instead
right?
we're Dustborn, we're the new porn.
We're the new porn, and you're racist.
We're aliens, we're behind you, and we're threatening you, and we fight by being triggered.
Jeez, I can't. This is just, it's 18 people when Vera Dark was looking at it. God, we should play this on the channel just to see how freaking bad this game is.
I don't want to.
I don't want
to give it attention.
I agree with this. Learning the law. Why do modern Western games like Dustborn seem obsessed with vitiligo? I know this, again, back to the comics from that era. This was a very common thing. Do you remember that? Like, It wasn't enough just to have like one diversity point. You had to have like 8, like every character was
Sunshine.
Yeah. Every character had like the progressive stack, right? It was never enough. Like literally every, like my gender's different, my religion's different, my skin is different, my sexuality is different, and also I have some form of being disabled, whether it's I'm on the spectrum or I'm in a wheelchair or something. You couldn't just be like, yeah, I just happen to be black.
But if you're white ginger, then you're just completely erased, worthy of being erased. Even though you're very different, doesn't matter. You're a minority, doesn't matter.
So here Grums has more on Concord's numbers. They're surprised. They don't understand why nobody's actually. Concord did better than Dustborn. Concord had 697.
Wow.
697 people. Paul
So
Tassi,
almost 10 times the amount.
he said, yeah, I just got out of a movie and there's no way this is right? Look, Paul, the writing has been on the wall for years. Like, this is why Suicide Squad failed. Suicide Squad had, I think at its peak, a couple thousand players, and it came out about the same time that Power World came out. And Power World had a ton of players at first.
His comment, I'm not trying to be mean. Jenny doesn't make sense to be this low.
You don't have, Paul. You can say it now.
The YouTubers are behind this one too?
Those dirty YouTubers. You can say it. You can say the game looks like shit. He actually did in his article. The game looks like shit. The YouTubers and the Twitter users, the X users you don't like, the ones that you go after, they're right. Gamers are right. They don't want these games. And they've been sold, these studio heads have been sold this lie for 8 years now. We're seeing, now that the free money, you want to talk about taxpayer money, you see the free money running out. We're seeing all these websites collapse because they're not being supported anymore. We're seeing now that the market is correcting what is actually selling. Well, Hogwarts Legacy, they tried to destroy that. Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, selling like crazy. Power World, selling like crazy. Stellar Blade, selling like crazy. This shit, not selling.
No.
It's just not selling. Oh, here's another. Here, watch this. Here we go. We're gonna put the headphones back on.
I've had them on the whole time.
Fella you're with, the black kid, dresses like a writer. Does he know anything?
You are racist.
Oh yeah. Oh, you explained that earlier. That's just. Is it always racist? Or they have other ones?
Yeah, I think there's actually a trigger attack. This person here, priest of aism. The more I see from Dustborn, the more I think the game is actually satire targeted at a normie audience, and the playable characters are the antagonists of the story.
I wish that was the case, but I don't think it is.
This is Spot the Microaggression South Park minigame. Oh my God. It's just,
It's bad. It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This one at least didn't take 8 years, so there's that.
Yeah.
But
so
can we wrap this up?
We're gonna wrap this one up, guys. We got more coming today. But yeah, the pendulum, she's swinging back pretty hard. And at the end of the day, all that matters are numbers. And if numbers trigger you, I'm sorry. That's just the way it works. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.